Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is another fantastic quarantine cast with Brian, Cody, and Craig. And we are so happy you're here. I, of course, am Brian Noonan. That, of course, is Craig Collins from deep in his radio bunker. I'm going to ask you right away, Craig, if things look different than they did before for me, because
They do.
I'm
They do.
sporting a new camera, high definition for the kids
Correct.
at home, and
Correct.
then a little tiny ring light to accentuate things. So now,
Wait a minute, you bought a ring light?
a tiny little ring light.
That's fine. That's pretty cool.
It's a selfie ring light. It's this.
I don't have one of those.
Well, Cody was like, "Hey man, I got this ring light for my thing." Now I had to rig it up a little bit because it's we don't need to go into the technical workshop, but thankfully my camera has a little privacy screen that flips down. So now when I flip it up, I can clip the ring light to it, and it brings out all the beauty in the face. Would you not agree?
I absolutely agree. 100% agree that all the beauty in the face is represented well there.
Well, sure. And then there's a glare off the glasses, so you can't see my eyes, and you can't tell if I'm hammered or not.
You know, I was not so jokingly asking you before we turned on the video today, maybe we should start putting on camera-ready makeup. Maybe we should just start doing it, Noonan.
Well, maybe. If things take off, who knows? Or we could be like George Clooney, who famously will not wear makeup. Because George Clooney is 100% man. And I will tell you, having been in a number of Hollywood productions, Craig, major network television, let me just put it that way, that's the weirdest part. Not because I feel effeminate or anything. It's just the feel. I don't know how ladies do it. The feel of makeup on your face, if you're not used to it, is not pleasant.
Okay.
It's just, I know Cindy's saying my cheeks are still rosy. That's because, I will tell you, right before this, I was part of the Sclerodoma Cooking for a Cure fundraiser with Chef Cletus Friedman, who was our guest last week. And so I had showered and shaved and did up the do. And then I was talking with Greg Cook, one of the founders of Stone Brewing. And Stone Brewing is San Diego based and Richmond, Virginia based. And they are known for their very hop forward beers. So,
all right.
One of the beers we tried is Fear Movie Lions. Now you're saying, Brian, you're holding it upside down. No, Stone has decided that they would print their labels upside down so that when you pour the beer, you will do it. Now, this is an 8.5% double IPA, New England style, which means it's hazy and malty. And so I was drinking that. And then, Craig, I know you will appreciate this. The other beer that I had to drink while we were talking to Greg, and by had to, I mean, that's the beers we were talking about, is the Buena Vesa with salt and lime. Look at this can.
That is amazing.
This is like a Dia de los Muertos.
Dios de los Muertos.
It is a Mexican lager with lime and a little hint of salt. It's 4.5% alcohol by volume. This is very low for Stone, and it is not their usual thing. But the cans are to die for. I am actually going to finish this 12-pack just so I can decorate the house with them.
And totally not because I have a Mexican wife. I'm aware that the female version of that costume is called La Catrina. So I'm just letting you know that it's the La Catrina can.
All right. Well, look at you bringing knowledge.
I'm trying.
That's why you're here. You have a knowledge.
No. If you watched last week, you would know the opposite.
Well, that may be me by the end of this one with what I had to do for this. So hello to Christine and Cindy and Leroy and Sally and Gene, everybody who's watching and listening. This is exciting, Craig.
Well, and friend of the show, Dan Lloyd, sends me a message on my social media pages saying that this week I should chug an entire gallon of milk after last week having Oreos and milk together. I should just chug the whole gallon.
You should. Well, what liquor then will you chase it down with? Because if people weren't with us last week, explain what we.
Last week I had a whole bottle of wine.
Is that moonshine? Were you making that in the toilet?
No, it's Soda Stream.
Okay.
And this is the Dr. Pepper. I believe it's not Dr. Pepper. It's like Dr. someone else. I don't know which doctor. I don't remember. And it's got a bunch of vodka in it. So that's what I'm drinking.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So good. Well, that's good. So if last week is any indication, and this week now follows up, you enjoy drinking straight from a bottle. as if you were some sterno bum on Skid Row, which I like. I like the fact that you don't put on pretense. You're not a guy who needs to feel fancy when you drink. No snifters, no crystal goblets, no pimp cups.
No.
You do right out of the bottle.
Yeah, well, less dishes. That's my whole approach to everything. How can I have less dishes?
All right. Well, this is working out for you. Diane, I no longer look like a lobster. Looks like yes, the cheeks are red. I have red cheeks, especially when I start getting a little liquor in me, and I'm freshly shaved and everything else.
I'm confused. Are your cheeks red? Are they a red color?
My cheek, I don't know. I hear my cheeks are red. But listen, I'll try to change the lighting. I don't know if that's going to help. How about that? That's more of a warm light.
That's fine.
Does that look better? I don't know.
It does.
This whole technology thing is making me crazy. But I feel good because I went, Debbie's out of town. So I was doing this benefit tonight, and then I was going to talk to you. And I thought, this is the time. I've been talking about getting a new webcam since we started this thing.
Yes.
And finally I said, you know what? I'm getting the webcam. So I did some research, and anybody who's done any tech research, and Craig, you're a tech guy. So you build your studio, you do all this. It's once you go down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out what to get, it's insanity.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely insanity. By the way, a real quick plug, since you just mentioned technology and my obsession with it, we can take phone calls on the QuarantineCast now.
That's what I was getting to that. But look at.
No, I stole your thunder.
No, you didn't. I just posted the number right on the screen. Give us a call. This is the newest. I told you in the tease, the promo today, that we were going to have new tech. It was my camera and lighting. It's Craig's big bunker studio. And because Craig has his huge bunker studio, we can take calls.
Yeah.
So somebody, this isn't radio. I'm not going to beg for calls, but we want to see if it works. So if you,
we do.
Yes. If you want to call and just say hi, whatever it is you want to do, whatever, and it doesn't, you can talk about anything. This isn't like you're not going to get a screener. That's the beautiful thing. I shouldn't have said that.
Well, no, it's the way I did my whole radio show when I was doing a radio show locally for a while, is you just answer the phone and hope for the best. So I like that strategy a lot.
Yeah. We're going to walk the tightrope.
Yeah.
We'll take some calls. Unscreened. We're not going to. There's not going to be anybody answering the phone. What do you want to talk to Brian and Craig about?
I mean, we're going to be answering the phone. I should say this. I'm getting a couple reactions to my hat because you called me a bum, and then that has the thing.
I said you drank like a bum. I did not call you a bum. Let's be clear. I don't want to get an email from Betty tomorrow yelling at me.
Or she'd just throw a shoe electronically somehow at you.
Yes, I'm going to walk out in the yard tomorrow and get whacked by a shoe like a drive-by soling.
This is Betty's farm. First, Betty's family owns a farm in Mexico, so the hat is the farm. And the second thing is, I fought her on them giving me a new hat. I like a beat-up hat, Noonan.
Yes.
There's something about it.
New hats look...
It's like a baseball mitt. If you go out with a brand new baseball mitt to play baseball, you're doing a terrible thing. I want my hats to be like almost gross, but wearable still.
I have a few that have the sweat stains on me, and I'll still wear those. I don't new ones make me a little antsy. I'm like you. I'm looking up at my hats. I don't have any that are frayed on the brim like that, but I have many that look as worn as that hat.
Yeah.
And that's,
see?
Yeah, listen, relax. Everybody's got to relax.
Right. I love this hat, actually. I truly do, and I love any hat that's beat up. If it's brand new, I got to wait a while before I start wearing it in public.
Do you rub it in dirt? Do you walk on it? Do you throw it around?
I do the under the mattress thing.
Oh, really?
You curl the brim, put it under the mattress for a little bit, and then that should. I don't think it's a whole night. I think I do it
I usually just, if I hold the hat brim like that for a few minutes, it's fine.
I want it creased a little harder than that.
All right, listen. We've all got our fashion style, or our style wants and needs. So there you go. What were we talking about? Oh,
we're not getting any phone calls, by the way. No one's playing ball.
This is new. This is new technology for people. They're watching us on Facebook and YouTube, and they're worried. What's going to happen if I call? Do I want to be the first caller? Do they have prizes? No, but you get to talk to us, which is fun. Tell us what you're drinking. Craig is drinking vodka and knockoff Dr. Pepper out of a bottle.
Yeah.
I am drinking many beers from Stone Brewing to complete the my fun with that. All right, we've mentioned you brought up the phone
we
call
have a
thing,
phone
which is
call.
brand new. That's
Yeah.
big news. Should we share the other big news about this?
Hold on, we have a phone call. We're going to have to ask the caller what their name is first and see that this all works correctly. Caller, what's your name? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. My name is Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Craig.
Where are you from, Carol?
Northlake.
Northlake. And what are you doing besides watching us, which is a great way to spend your Wednesday? What else do you do?
Well, actually, I'm listening to you because I'm driving home from work in the car.
Perfect.
Okay, that's great. So did you want to say anything, or are you just testing the phone number?
I'm just testing the phone number for you.
Carol is fantastic.
Thank you, Carol. It works. This is, again, this is a new thing this week. We're broadening our horizons and making you more the you of that's listening more a part of the program.
Since I'm used to getting calls from people that had no intention of jumping on the radio or on any form of, I have a question for you, Carol, since you've decided to join us. If you could have one wish from a genie and you can't wish for more wishes, what would your wish be? It's a tough one.
I wish I could lose weight and keep it off.
There we go.
That's a good wish.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling into the QuarantineCast.
Yes, Carol, thank you for being our first caller. I wish we had something to give you other than our admiration, but unfortunately for you, that's all you get tonight is our admiration.
Hey, I appreciate that. Trust me, I do.
Fantastic. Thanks, Carol. Have a great night. Drive carefully.
You too.
Craig, I got to tell you, this is fantastic. This is a fantastic addition to the program.
I don't know what the volume is like in your end because I'm mixing a bunch of things over here.
I heard Carol perfectly.
Okay, great.
I heard her without I didn't have to strain my old ears or nothing.
One other thing that I need to mention whenever we do calls this way is if somebody is on the line with us, you're listening and you want to call in, you're not going to make it through. There's no such thing as a hold button where I am.
You don't have a board that you're pulling up 8 lines?
Yeah, but what you can do is leave a voicemail if you get a busy signal, and we can play the voicemail live on the QuarantineCast. We're getting another call.
Oh, look at this. How popular this segment has become.
Yeah,
Open Line Wednesday.
Open Line Wednesday on the QuarantineCast. Caller, what's your name?
Leroy.
Leroy, what do you want to say?
Leroy from Bloomington, right, Leroy?
Yeah, from Bloomington Normal.
Bloomington Normal. Big fan of the Craig Collins show when it was on down there.
Yes.
Yep. Actually, now at 2:00, I turned my radio to WGN.
There you go.
Station.
And then on Wednesday nights you're here, which is to us much more important.
Really, truthfully.
Yeah, and Craig, I enjoyed your radio show and I miss it.
Thank you. You're not alone. I've got some nice messages from Facebook, and I can think of one guy on the show today that misses it a bit. I will ask you this, though, Leroy. Yeah, well, 2 guys, both of us.
Both of us on the show, Mr.
To transition and not get in any kind of legal trouble, I'm going to ask you, Leroy, what wish would you get if you could just have one wish? What would it be?
Travel to Mars.
There we go. I can get down with that, Leroy. Thanks for calling in.
I like that, Leroy. Thanks.
You're welcome. I enjoy watching.
All right,
thanks, man. We're glad you're here. All right, so I like that you had this. This is how people can tell that you and I have done radio before. Because, and I mean this in all sincerity, this is a good thing that we are not just here babbling. You turn on some podcast and go, hey, man, how's it going? Hey. You have a question for these callers. You had this prepared. You were ready to go.
I did not have it prepared. It came to me.
You had it prepared.
Right. Professional broadcaster.
It's a professional broadcasting move.
Planned it for days.
I like it very much.
Thank you.
Do you have an answer for your question?
If I could have one wish, what would it be? If I could have one wish, I would like to... See, it's such a selfish wish, though, Noonan. Like, isn't the answer supposed to be cure all hunger, cure all... You're supposed to be, if we just get one, if all of human society gets one, and I'm the guy that gets one, if I wish for anything other than, like, world peace, I'm a jerk, right?
Well...
If we're passing, if everybody's going to get a wish, I can be a lot more selfish. If there's just one for all of society, and I'm the idiot that got it,
well,
I think...
put so many... constraints on this wish.
I'm wondering. What would you assume? Would you assume other people?
Is there only one genie in existence? Is that the deal? Is one genie and see? Here's the thing. Now,
yeah,
I can't remember how this works, But if you get a wish from a genie,
Mhm.
and then how do you set that genie free?
You
Because
have-
that's the thing. Do you have
you have-
to? Do you use your wish to set the genie free?
Look, so we're going to go Aladdin rules because it's the easiest one for me as a 90s kid. You get 3 wishes in that situation. You can't wish for very specific things like someone to fall in love with you, or I think there's a couple others. But one of the 3 wishes has to be for the genie to be set free, and then he can set himself free.
Okay.
Yeah.
See that, but he's given Aladdin 3 wishes.
Correct.
You're going 1.
I am. Well, because
One's
3
harder.
3 is silly. I mean, if you get 3 wishes, you can definitely like cure all hunger, cure all poverty, and then I'm the center fielder for the Yankees. That's 3 wishes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say you got to listen. In this day and age, stick up for yourself. Get your wish. Get your wish. See what's up. As long as it, with this caveat that your wish hurts no one.
All right.
It does not do harm to society. It doesn't eradicate a group of people. It doesn't, you can't say, I want all the ladies to do my bidding. That's not a wish. I mean, it can be a wish, but you can't ask the genie for it.
No.
That's something you got to work on at the gym and in really tight pants. But other than that, I'd say take your wish. You know what? Screw political correctness tonight.
All right.
The wish is for you, and the wish is for me.
All right.
My wish is my wish. Your wish is your wish. Let's, as they say in court, we will allow, Your Honor, that we wish society to be free of poverty and hunger and pandemics.
Right.
We will. That's a given.
However, if given just one wish, I'm going to be a tad more selfish about it.
I will be a selfish MFer.
What is yours, by the way?
No, we're waiting on you to stop.
No, I said that the third one would be Yankee related, and I actually said play center field, but I have I think I have a variation that's better. I want to be capable of hitting a home run every time I'm pitched a baseball. No matter where it is, no matter what, like every swing is a home run. You can throw it 50 miles outside of strike zone, and I can swing and home run.
That's your wish.
Then I would definitely be a center fielder for the Yankees. I can hit a home run every at bat.
But you can't catch or run.
It doesn't matter. I'm hitting a home run every at bat, Noonan. Every single one.
My cousin Maura says be selfish. Yeah, Maura, that's right. Be selfish. This will tell you, this wish will tell you now, give you a great indication of my age and position in life at this point. My one wish is to never have a financial worry again. I don't have to be the richest guy in the world. I just want to have the money to do what I want and never have to worry for myself and my family again.
Yes.
That would imagine if you never had to worry about money. If you don't have all of it, but you've got plenty. You take care of your family, you take care of your kids, you live in comfort. That's mine, man.
I imagine.
Hold on, look at Barbara's wish. The most unselfish wish ever. Barbara wishes we were both back on real radio.
Yeah.
Well, all next week I will be on WTMJ.
That's real.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday I'm actually doing a show, which we'll talk about later. I was on WTMJ Monday and last Friday, so that's real radio. And fingers crossed that. Fingers crossed.
I may eventually have some wish granting ability there too.
Right. So, but nothing we can speak of yet. But fingers are crossed.
This is all true.
Everyone is hopeful. The radio genie has been summoned from the bottom.
To go back for a second, you said that you would want enough money to just be comfortable the rest of your life. I imagine that if I were capable of hitting a home run in every at bat I'm ever given, I would also have enough money to be okay the rest of my life.
That's true, but you also have to then put in a lot of effort.
No, I have to put in none.
Mine, I just have the money. I don't care.
I don't have to.
I can sit around and not do anything.
I don't think you understand the wish, Noonan. I don't have to train for this ability. I can wander up there semi-drunk, completely out of shape, swing the bat one-handed, home run. Every at bat, magical home run.
Modern day, magically enhanced Babe Ruth.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. I like
inappropriately so.
Don't forget, you can give us a call 312-870-0023.
It's true.
With your wish or anything else. We're not sticking to topics. If you have anything else you want to say, jump in. This is exciting news, and I want to pass this along to everybody. Cody is coming back. We will say that. We don't know when. Cody has been very wishy-washy about his return. He texts me all the time, and we were on a group chat the other day, and he is coming back. He wants to come. He can't wait to come back.
Yeah.
And we welcome him back. But I have talked to Craig about this, and then Cody and I talked about this. And when Cody comes back, Craig is still staying on. This will be a three-headed monster. It will then truly be the Quarantine Cast with Brian, Cody, and Craig. So that's this will be the new title. There won't be any ellipses. There won't be any dots. It's you and Cody can argue. This is just alphabetical. And quite frankly, I'm always going to be first. But it's alphabetical. But yes, so this is exciting. We're welcome officially. I'm happy you're here. I think everybody who watches and listens is happy you're here. So this is exciting news.
I'm thrilled to be here. I am a little disappointed that my one request when we were doing all the contract negotiations did get rejected. It was to rename the show, and
I know the lawyers are still talking about that. Right. I don't get involved in that.
Okay, you can see a path then with lawyers doing the lawyer stuff.
No, absolutely not. There's no path to a change. But why should I get worked up about it? Because I know the outcome.
Got it. Okay, yeah. Because it sounded like
I know how this is going to end.
Right. It sounded like you were teasing the idea that we could be renamed to the QuarantineCast Cast with the other guys.
Yeah, well, I understand your desire.
Right.
That's fine. I'm not going to be one to quash your dreams this early. Trust me, there'll be plenty of times for your dreams to be quashed if they haven't already been in this business.
Yes, they have. Thank you.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna be the one to do it.
Right. No, that's good.
I'll just let my the hired mouthpiece take care of it.
Yeah, the friendly lawyer.
Yeah, that name is how do you say it? Etched in stone. They took the ellipses off. You're right after the ampersand.
Correct. You're in a take it or leave it situation, Craig. We're going to inform you of that you're in a take it or leave it, but you're going to have to take it.
Yeah. Listen, everybody's happy you're here. We added your name. It could be Brian, Cody, and the guy in the frayed hat, or Brian, Cody, and drinks out of jug. If we were doing like a Dances with Wolves thing,
we could also steer into the fact that I mispronounced the word etc., and we could do a Brian, Cody, etc.
Etc. Yes, Dane Neal. We love Dane Neal. Good to see you, Dane, jumping in. Wanted to say hello, Dane Neal. You can hear him. I think you can still hear him.
No, Dane. Yeah, Dane's a bunch of places. I like Dane Neal a lot.
All over. Yeah.
My favorite thing about working with Dane early on when I did that at GN is he would react to the fact that all of my stories were silly and had no news in them whatsoever. He's like, "These are great stories, Craig. You've provided no news at all."
No, and sometimes I've been thinking a lot about that, and as I was putting together the shows, and I'm like, boy, I really like just goofing around.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the other stuff, but I like goofing around.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's whatever. We may hear from Cody tonight. We may not. Bringing Cody back up. It is his 3rd anniversary. Can you believe
getting another phone call?
Oh, a phone call. This is exciting.
It's crazy how often this is happening on the Quarantine Cast.
New thing. What is that? What happened?
It sounds like a sales call of some kind, so I muted it and hung up on it. It does not sound like a legitimate one.
Spam risk? Are we getting spam? Because here's what's going to happen. The the call's going to come in. One of us will say hello and yes, and then all of a sudden you will owe $10,000.
Right, yeah, I want to Google this number now to see what exactly it is.
I don't know what's going. Oh, that's what's happening. I kept hearing this crazy chimes, and it's according to my computer, my SBC account is out of date. I don't know what that
We're just going to do technology stuff in the show today.
Technology talk. It's very exciting. Can you believe 3 years ago we were at Cody's wedding?
No, I can't believe that at all, man.
I can't either. It doesn't seem possible.
He has a baby now.
Yeah, he's got a house. He's still got his wife. He's got a baby. Mm-hmm. He's got a car. He's like a full-on adult man.
Right. I love the way you stated that too. He's still got his wife, because we weren't sure. Going in, we did not. All bets were not on Casey staying.
Well, listen, the fact that I officiated the wedding took away a level of gravitas that most marriages start off with, if we can be quite honest. Because I'll never forget, we were out, and we were out having drinks. We went to Debbie my wife and myself, and Cody and Casey went to Carnival, to one of these. They had these cocktail university things
Mhm.
where you'd go and you'd learn, like one night you'd learn to make tropical drinks, and one night it was margaritas, which was a mistake. I went to that a night I was filling in on the overnights at WGN.
Yes.
Came home and I passed out, and I got up about a half hour before I had to be on the air, and I got to the station and walked in as the news was ending, still drunk. So that was a long overnight shift. But we were out there. We were all out to have drinks, and they said, "Oh, we want to ask you something." And they asked me if I would officiate the wedding, and all I said was, "You're not serious. You're kidding." And Debbie got mad at me, and she's elbowing me. She goes, "Say yes. You got to say yes." And I'm like, "Are you sure? Because this is your wedding." And I could not fathom that they were asking me to actually be the officiant at their wedding. I was honored, obviously, but I also thought it was a huge mistake. huge mistake.
I disagree completely. I thought that you were excellent in that role. I thought that you were very funny,
Well,
which
thank
is not necessarily what you usually get at a regular wedding. I
Right.
think that
That's
a
true.
lot of the priests try to make one or two of the jokes, but they don't go as full bore as you did, which was great. It was very entertaining.
Well, it was easy to, I had to get ordained, and I'm still, listen, if you're looking for a Zoom pastor for your wedding, I am still an ordained minister. So give a call, book it right now. My rates are very inexpensive.
Do you have to be in the same place as the people to marry them, or could you do it on the QuarantineCast?
I think we could do it on the QuarantineCast.
Oh man,
We could do that. We could do it on a Zoom conference call, but we can get in another 8 people on this QuarantineCast. So we could have the bride, the groom, 2 witnesses, you, me, and Cody. That
Yes.
takes us up to 9, and then a puppet maybe come in.
By the way, did you read that Rob, who commented on Facebook, was the guy that called us with the car warranty offer? I guess he did that purposefully.
Oh,
That was him calling in to try to make a car warranty joke.
good try, Rob. Thank you for trying. Thank you for jumping in, and listen.
Thank you.
Comedy's hard.
It is.
It's really hard.
Yeah. There's setup that's needed sometimes, and if you don't do that part right, the joke could be funny,
Right,
but the
and
setup
if
is missing.
if you're just calling in with a crazy thing and we don't know, it's like,
Right.
okay.
Right.
But
Anyway,
so I got ordained, and then I worked on this nonstop for weeks. In fact, in the Uber going to the ceremony, I was still working on stuff. And you remember when you saw me when I first got there, I said
Yes.
hello, and I went off by myself because I was like, this is something you can't screw up. Like if I go to do stand-up, which I'm doing next week, and I'll talk about that, and I screw up a joke or two, that's okay.
right.
This is my friend's wedding, you know? And I took it much more seriously than I take most things in my life.
Let me ask you if it would have made any difference if it was family. Would you have felt less pressure?
I
if
would
you
not have done it if it was family.
Oh, why not?
I don't know.
You don't like your family.
Your
brothers, they're out.
Well, my brothers thankfully are all married, so I don't have to
There you
worry about it.
Okay.
Now my youngest brother got married, and he had a friend do his wedding,
Mhm.
and he and my sister-in-law are still very happily married, so that's good. The whole thing to me was odd, only because I'm of a different generation.
Yes.
And like when I got married, you got married at church or city hall, and you didn't have just some dude go online and get ordained, and then he's I kept asking, is this even legal?
Right.
Like when we're done, are you really married?
And then more importantly than the legal aspect is the religious one. Are you smited? Because you did this, Noonan, in a way. Like, are you damned for one day, I guess, when everything ends?
This was probably the one thing that gave me, one more step up the ladder.
Okay.
Because it was like, I was dangling. I was like, John McClane in Die Hard hanging out the window, and the flames of hell were lapping at my feet. And all of a sudden, this was like, oh, somebody pulled me in the window for a little bit. Not all the way in.
Right.
My legs were still dangling out, and my midsection was being cut on the jagged glass.
Got it.
I wasn't completely thrown into the bowels of hell.
That is good. That's good to know. Because
Sure.
I would not sacrifice that for Cody. Internal damnation.
Again, that was the least of my worries.
Yeah.
It was also, I had met his dad and brothers only at the bachelor party that we had for him on the air.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know his family. I didn't know Casey's family at all. I knew Casey a little, but not a ton. So it was easier for me when I was writing vows and writing about, their relationship. I knew a lot about Cody, and I knew about Casey from his side of the story, but it was, it was high pressure. But it turned out, it was a gorgeous day.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was mid-October, October 20th, but it was like 65 degrees, 70 degrees on the lakefront.
Yes, you just reminded me of how ridiculously lucky that day turned out to be.
It was phenomenal.
Right.
And then, I start. It was at what's that point? Promontory Point, is that what it's called? Something like that, right on the lake, down near the Museum of Science and Industry.
Mm-hmm.
And they had everything set up, their chairs there and the speaker system and the whole thing. And I guess they had checked the audio. And I didn't get 2 sentences into the ceremony and the microphone crapped out.
And you started yelling.
I did. I remember I was standing there and I was talking into this microphone that was not working.
Yeah.
And I reverted to stand up and I went, "Can you guys hear me without the microphone?"
Mm-hmm.
And everybody went, "Yes." So I tossed the mic to the side.
Right.
And we just did it.
See, no one else would have known that, Noonan. We would have had a very delayed, very awkward time period there instead of you handling it like a pro.
I didn't want to delay this. We had to get it over with. We had to get to I hear there was liquor at the reception and we had to get home. So
was there a lot of liquor? I forget how drunk I got. Are you drunk at most receptions?
The drunkest I ever got at a wedding.
Yeah.
I don't think I got drunk at my own. I think I was okay at mine.
Not me.
Cody's I drank because 1, we had Ubered, so I knew we were getting home.
Mm-hmm.
2, but it wasn't sloppy. It was just like, because we stayed the whole time. And you guys were there, you and Betty were there, and Roger and some other people from the station, and Cody's friends were fun. It was a great wedding. It was nonstop fun from the time we got there. It was terrific. Yeah. And so I do remember falling asleep in the Uber on the way home. I don't know it was late and I'm old and I'd been up early and there was a lot of stress. So I'm not going to say I passed out. I fell asleep.
Okay.
I was
fine.
tired. But I did the worst I ever got at a wedding.
Yeah.
My good friend Jimmy Pardo, who you may know from television and the Never Not Funny podcast, he got married to a lovely woman, Danielle. And we were living in Los Angeles at the time and we were invited to the wedding. And so we go to this wedding and I think it's because I'm a little insecure, and there were some Hollywood types there. I will say that his bride's father is very well known.
Yeah.
There were some other big shots hanging around this wedding, so I was a little out of my element.
Conan O'Brien was there?
He was not there at that point.
Oh.
But this was well before Jimmy started working with Conan.
I gotcha.
But there were some other people. There were people I knew there, which was fun. But I was wearing a pink tie. A pink rep tie with little flamingos on there. And one of the signature drinks was a watermelon martini.
All right.
It matched my tie perfectly, which I must have told the bartender ad nauseum the more of those I had. And I think, because they were going down like nothing.
Yeah.
If I had 12, I had 144 of these watermelon martinis. I don't remember eating.
Okay.
I remember being at the table, and there was a guy there who I knew who was a comedy booker who never booked me after that. And I remember kind of cornering Jimmy's father-in-law and having a conversation.
Mm-hmm. That went well.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it did.
Right.
But very gregarious, even when I don't remember what the hell I'm talking about.
Sure.
As we left, Debbie was driving, thank God. Debbie was driving. We got to the car, and I was like, I'm going to be sick. She's like, you can't throw up right here. We pulled out of the parking lot, got to the stoplight at the corner. I leaned out of the car. Ugh.
Oh.
I'm talking to Jimmy. Then we get home. I walked in. The babysitter was the girl from 2 Doors Down, whose father was a sheriff.
I thought that was a TV show for a second. Okay.
She's very nice. I guess I didn't say anything. I walked past her and like grunted. And Debbie said to her, he's not feeling really well.
He's a little sick.
Yeah, he's a little sick. I'm talking to Jimmy a couple weeks later, and he's like, man, I said, Jimmy, we had a great time at the wedding. It was fantastic. He goes, yeah. I don't know what the hell happened. He goes, so many people were so drunk in there and making assholes out of themselves. And then I got a report, some guy's puking at the stoplight as he's leaving. I'm like, man.
Wow.
I said, well, I got to be honest.
Degenerate.
The guy puking was me. I said, I'm sorry if I ruined things. He's like, no, in the wedding, you were actually fine. He said, I could tell you were drunk, but you were, you were fine. I'm glad you waited to throw up till you left, but that was it.
I don't know why you told the truth. I would have died with that secret.
Nah.
I wouldn't have been that guy.
No, I'm going to fess up.
There you go. I got out of it.
If he had said you were, because he knew who he had, trust me, I'm sure to this day, he still has a mental list of who messed up at his wedding.
Gotcha.
I was not on that list. So it was okay and the fact that I was off premises, I wasn't even in the parking lot of the venue when this happened.
Right.
I was okay.
That's good.
I was golden.
I intend to not get drunk at any wedding, and I don't know if I've ever successfully been entirely sober at any of them. I don't know that that's good or not. There's something about it, like the liquor's free and you're having a good time, and then you just get a tad too hammered. Even my own wedding, which I swore to my wife I would not get hammered, and then her father kept yelling, Roy Tequila, which is my middle name because he can't say Craig. It's hard to say. And he would hold up a shot and he's like, Roy Tequila. And I was like, all right, I'll do a tequila. And at first I even told the bartender, I think Aurelio is going to want me to drink a bit. My wife said I shouldn't drink. I'm newly married, supposed to keep the wife happy. So can you pour fake shots and not have them be real for me? And he goes, sure, no problem. And by the third one of those, I'm like, I'm going to kill her dad because he's going to keep trying to get me drunk. I have to authentically get hammered with him. And I did.
Yeah, you can't, he's your new father-in-law. You can't tell him, screw you, man.
Right. I remember early on thinking this is a horrible, if he ever found out, if I all evening long fake these drinks and he ever finds out, I think I'm dead to him.
Yeah, you can't. Because you lied. Good. You lied to him from the start.
Right. Yeah. From day one.
Listen, I think, I'm trying to remember. I know we drank at our wedding. I know there were people really drunk at our wedding, but I think we made it through. It was one of those things I was so busy during it. I don't remember, we didn't get any appetizers. I don't think we got any of the desserts. So I don't remember drinking that much.
There has to be a fix for that because that happens to every couple that gets married. You wind up socializing too much and you tried the food. You wanted the food to be good. I put a lot of thought into the food we served because I wanted to eat it. When I don't get any, Noonan, that's not fair. We have to fix this problem.
It is not right, but that is, I think that's most people when they go to their wedding.
I think from now on, reception should re-host just the bride and groom the next day for their own meal. That should be a part of the package.
Sunday, I'm going to a virtual wedding, and I don't know how this is supposed to work.
All right.
Well, I don't know. I don't think I have to dress up more than I'm dressed up now, right? I have a collared shirt on that I ironed. I showered and shaved.
I don't know about that.
You think I need to put on a sport coat?
I would. Are you going to be visually, viewable?
This. I'm going to be like this.
But everyone's going to.
Just like now, you don't know if I'm, you don't know if I'm tubing it like that guy from the New Yorker. You don't know what's going on under my chest.
I'm aware, and I'm not asking. I am aware, but are you going to be?
I will say this camera has a tilt though. If you're you're feeling saucy,
you're going to be seen by others, and others are going to see you.
I don't know. I've never attended a virtual wedding before.
All right, I would say if you can be viewed by anyone, even just the bride and groom, I think they'd be pleasantly surprised if you go ahead and throw on at least the suit jacket.
Well, yeah, I'm not putting on pants and everything. I'm going to be honest with you. I ironed this shirt. And I put it on. I have sweats and my slippers on.
That's awesome.
I'm not,
Yeah.
I figured, well, I'm doing this event. I'll put on a jazzy shirt.
Uh-huh.
But that's all you can see.
Right.
That's all that matters. I showered, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So man, I could throw a sport coat on and still look,
I would fancy up the upper half as much as you can.
Okay. Bow tie? Should I bow tie? Go all the way?
You rock a good bow tie.
I do love a bow tie. I haven't worn one in 7 months. 8 months.
Why do you go bow tie so often? Attic, not that I'm judging. I think it's a fine look for a bride.
Well, one, it's my signature look now.
All right.
But the reason I started wearing bow ties, I never wore bow ties before, except at a wedding, or once in college. But then it was one that was already pre-tied, and it was for a banquet, a radio TV banquet.
All right.
And then it turned into a toga party, so it was just the toga and the bow tie that got so sweat-soaked that all the colors ran together.
I have more questions now, but I can let you finish your story.
Okay. I have a story, and I thought of you as it was happening.
All right.
I was like, ooh, this is going to throw off Craig's entire worldview. It's going to make everything you believed up to this point will now be put into question.
I am trying to put myself into the situation to be ready for a story like that, where I walk away a different human.
You will be. I think you will be changed.
All
or
right.
maybe it's just me. So when I lost, I lost all that weight, right? And
Yes.
I put a little on, but I still have most of it off. But when I lost that weight, we were going to a wedding. Dan Chagru from WGN.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to his wedding, and so I had looked for, I needed a suit. I needed new clothes. I had lost all this weight, and I had always wanted a seersucker suit. So I find the seersucker suit, and then we're out at Macy's. We're looking around, and on the mannequins, this was when bow ties were just starting to come back. And Debbie said, "Ooh, I really like bow ties." Bam. Then, you like bow ties, baby? I'm going to learn to tie a bow tie. And then it kind of became the thing. And, most guys don't wear bow ties. And so I started wearing them and finding cool ones, and I tie them, and it was great. And then I started doing the bow tie theater reviews when Broadway in Chicago was still open, which I hope it will be again soon.
Yes.
So that's why I wear bow ties. It's just something that sets me apart. I like the uniqueness of it.
Yes.
I like there's something about being able to tie it that a lot of people can't or don't do, and it's not that hard, but it's a little unique thing that sets me. I like it to set me a little bit apart when I get dressed up.
I associate the bow tie with you. That's the signature and how well it's achieved its goal. I actually, when I see a bow tie in a store, I think of Brian Noonan.
So then it worked. It's my branding, Craig.
It is.
It's right. All about branding. Christine misses the bow tie. Maybe I bring the bow tie back just for maybe I bring the bow tie back one night. If we're celebrating something special. Who knows?
The return of Cody to the show.
I said something special. Come on. It's not, listen, if he hears this and we build him up so much that he's, then all of a sudden he's going to have demands too.
Right. The Cody teen cast does not sound as fun.
No, it doesn't sound fun at all. Somebody said we're going to have to change it when the quarantine ends. Let's be honest. It's not ending.
Yeah, I'm staying in forever.
Yeah, we're never going anywhere. Yeah. So how did the bow tie? I don't even know how the bow tie question came up.
We were chatting about all kinds of stuff.
Dressing up for the virtual wedding. Have you done any? All right, here's another question. Here's an etiquette question, folks. Weigh in, please, or give us a call. Craig, you can. I'm asking you, but
I don't think I want to answer the. Okay, go ahead.
No, when you go to a wedding, you try to gauge your gift.
Yes.
And the old rule of thumb was you try to figure out what the couple has spent on the plate, and you try to cover your plates. And I don't know where that rule came from. I don't even know if it's still a thing. But back, when I was coming up, that's when you went to a wedding, you kind of did that. Or you went on their registry and you found something and you bought something from the registry.
Correct.
Now things have changed.
Yeah.
And especially with the virtual thing, it's, hey, give us money for our honeymoon, or give us money for a car, and I'm like, okay, I want to give a gift, obviously, to the people who are getting married.
Yeah.
But it feels weird to me to, plus there's no plate. There's nothing. There's no
transaction here.
Right.
I'm not gaining.
I'm not getting a dessert cart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
getting an apple martini.
I have a couple hot takes, and I'm
afraid.
afraid.
Hot takes and cold beers.
Yeah. I don't like doing these hot. The first one is I've yet to attend a virtual wedding. I've been invited to some. I've said no. I've even said yes sometimes and not gone. To me, Noonan, and this might be the hottest of the takes. I think you should reschedule. In my opinion, why get virtually married outside of maybe a reason. There's like one reason I can think of.
Yeah,
and
that's
maybe
not the reason.
Right.
That's not the reason for.
Right.
I think there's two reasons. The
All
obvious one, and then health of family members.
Okay. That is a really good reason I had not considered because I'm a mean person.
That is that is a reason. And I don't know if that's the reason. I also think some people are just like, screw it, we're getting married.
I don't know. For me, outside of being informed of that, which would be very awkward to send the invitation along with a rider that says, Craig, we're doing this because a family member is ill. You should go. I think most people should reschedule. I think most of these weddings should just wait to be in person because there's nothing like that. You're not going to get, it's like the kid graduating high school or college that's not getting graduation the same. The wedding can be postponed most often. So I don't go as sort of a I don't know, protest against the concept of doing them.
Wow.
I know. I'm not doing it. That's the hot take. And then the second thing, I don't like giving monetary gifts. I like giving a gift where it's a tad bit of a mystery how much it costs. I don't like giving a dollar amount so you can figure out like the exact amount I care about you.
Yeah, that's a weird thing for this one. It's like, I don't know. And I know I'll have this conversation with Debbie and she'll make the decision. But
right.
Which is fine because I don't know. Thankfully, Debbie is much more generous than I am. I'm generous, but I'm also frugal, cheap, whatever. But like if we were going to a wedding and we're getting dressed up and we're driving and they put on, no matter what size reception, whether it's in a church basement or a big hall at a hotel, whatever, I'm going to bring something. And I'm going to give a check. I also like to buy a physical gift. Now, they'll know if they put it on the registry what it cost. And that's okay, because we'll set our budget and go, all right, we were going to give X amount.
Yeah.
So let's find something on the registry that's around that price. And this is something we know they want. So let's do that. But this is a whole different thing.
Well, I got to even ask a follow-up. Have you ever been to a wedding where they didn't want gifts? They wanted you to make a donation to a charity of their choosing?
No, I don't believe I have.
So I have a few judges' ruling questions for you, real specific, Noonan. This may or may not have happened to me. It was a really good friend from high school. She is a doctor. She's living in New York City. Her husband, doctor, living in New York City. They have a great financial future ahead of them. New York was a difficult place for me to get to. We had to travel. We had to do a lot of things. And then the charity that they had chosen, no judgment, it's not one that I would normally donate to, not because I dislike it. All charities are great. But, my charity funds.
Not all charities are great.
We're okay. And I don't want, if they ever see this, I don't want them to think that I judge their charity. But, I would rather throw the money. I don't know.
Was it about Nazis? Was it a charity for Nazis?
It was not.
Okay.
I didn't wind up gifting them much at all. I think that the end result was a very, very small amount of money donated to the charity. And part of the concept for Betty and I was that, we were one of the furthest to travel to get there.
Yes.
So does that play in to the gift giving?
I believe it should.
Okay.
If it's a destination wedding.
Yes.
I believe is a semi-selfish concept. Hey, we want to get married in Guadalajara. Okay, that's fantastic. We want you to come. Okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll do what I can. I've got to pay for air and hotel and blah blah blah, and it's a big chunk.
Mm-hmm.
Then my gift might not be, depending on my financial thing. If I made the financial sacrifice to come to your wedding, my gift may be less.
Yeah.
If I have to go 5 miles down the road and I didn't have to leave till, 10 minutes before the ceremony and I'm getting a free meal, then my finances are freed up to make a more generous gift.
Okay. So the judge's ruling is I wasn't quite as mean as I felt that evening for.
No, see, here's the other thing. Everybody's at a different financial state.
Right. Me
and it's not just age, it's whatever. Yeah. So you can't expect it. If I remember driving home, we got married in Flint, Michigan, and I'm bragging because I'm a big shot. We got married at a church in Flint, Michigan, and had our reception at the Ramada Inn.
Wow.
And listen, for up there,
Yeah.
that was fancy.
Yeah.
Fancy.
That's
We
very
didn't
nice.
have to set up our own tables and chairs or nothing.
No.
And we didn't have to serve food out of a tinfoil pan.
What
which
food
is
was
fine.
served?
Huh?
What food did you serve?
There was some sort of chicken dish.
Okay.
I remember people saying it was good.
That's good.
I don't remember much about it. But the point is, we were driving back after the wedding, and I'm driving, and Debbie is opening the cards on the glove compartment. And we were joking because some people were very, very generous.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, there was like $20 in there.
Mm-hmm.
And we would make jokes because we're jerks. But, to them, that was what they could give.
Right.
And also, depending on where you're from, that plays a lot into wedding gifts. Some people, it's got to be, man, crazy big. Like, watch Goodfellas. You're Italian. You know how this works.
Yes, I do.
Big wads of cash in an envelope.
Correct.
That's not everywhere.
You got to do the handshake with the envelope, and then you put it in the pocket.
Yep.
By the way, and I know I've told this story on radio before. I don't think I've ever told it on the QuarantineCast. I got no gifts. One gift at my wedding.
What was that?
We got one set of pots and pans from one of her sister-in-law's family members that came to the wedding. It's a sister-in-law's mom, and she felt ashamed when she realized she was the only gift giver because everyone in Mexico didn't give me gifts because they thought I was a rich gringo. It's a real thing that happened. Real thing that happened. I know.
They all told them about you at all? What did she tell everybody?
I don't know.
He is a huge media megastar.
Right. Yeah, maybe
Meanwhile,
to
you're
this
making
day.
producer pay it.
Right. Yeah, this was maybe to this day. I don't know that part, but they truthfully all shied away from it because, like, wow, the gringo. Because we paid for our own wedding, we didn't have anybody else do it. It was important to Betty and I to do that, and I guess that gave the impression more so than anything else that the gringo's doing well. We're not going to even gift him.
If I had $1, if I had a peso for every gringo that I knew that was doing well, I'd have 0 pesos.
I got none for the wedding, so that's good.
Sandy says they can Google the gift.
Yeah, they can.
I want to see what it says. Sally says, hey, get married however you want to do it, family only. Then, when all this is over, have a heck of a party. One of our kids did this, and their wedding party 6 months later was fabulous. No gifts, just to celebrate with them. I like that idea. Diane says, my son planned a September 2020 wedding in 2019. The venue wouldn't let him cancel. Ooh.
Oh.
That's a bad move.
Yeah.
So a few out-of-towners ended up attending their Nashville wedding. Those of us over 50 were scared. Yes. But it was outdoors. Nobody got COVID that we know of. I added
That's
that
good.
part. Her son wanted a destination wedding to another place. Nashville is a destination, they said, which is true. For everybody who doesn't live there, Nashville is a destination. And if this were not COVID times, Nashville rocks.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Nashville is a party town.
Did you get tempted at all when the tickets to fly anywhere plummeted? Did you get tempted to take a flight? No, okay, no. Me neither, apparently.
Not at all. Listen, I am staying right here. Christine says we got married on Saturday morning in the church chapel that held 40 people, had cake and coffee in the church basement. We were 19 and couldn't afford a big party 44 years ago and still together. Well, first of all, congratulations. And yeah, I've been to weddings. I've been to big, huge, fancy weddings. I've been to weddings of friends when we were young, 20, 22, in small places that were in church basements. Mm-hmm. They were in church halls. It was, it was potluck kind of thing. I've been to all kinds of weddings. And the end result is it doesn't matter. If you have a good time, right. This is just new etiquette that I'm questioning. Yeah. I don't know the etiquette of this.
I don't think there is any. I think you can go any way you want with this. As you said, you're not getting a dish. Although
now, if Debbie is sitting next to me, okay. Does the "I'm with stupid" T-shirt? I leave that. I don't wear that. Is that right?
Usually, I'm not always. Depends on the bride and groom.
She's not, and I don't want to give that impression that she is.
Right? No, I wouldn't.
Probably best not to. All right.
You did make the point that the gift does go up and down based on travel. Into your own house is pretty easy travel as far as attending a wedding. So
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But what am I getting in return?
Nothing.
I don't get rubber chicken. I don't get overdone meat. I don't get watered down drinks. I don't get the chicken fingers after midnight, which is I had never heard of that deal until Cody's wedding, that they bring in like late night food.
That's a thing. They did that at Cody's wedding.
Yeah, they brought in pizza and chicken fingers and I think cheeseburgers or sliders or something. Because we had dinner at at dinner time, but then everybody was sloshed, and all of a sudden they brought in it was from the hotel. They brought in pizzas and it's like, oh, this is the best food I've ever eaten.
Was I drunk or was I not there anymore? I don't remember that at all.
I think you were still there.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, they brought that food in and it was like locusts attacked it.
Yeah.
So if you didn't see it come in and knock over, Cody's grandma to get to it, you were really not getting a slider.
All right.
Suffice it to say, I had about 6.
There you go.
So I knocked over everybody.
I'm sure.
I'm not listening.
Hey.
Don't get between a bear and his meat. That's all I'm saying.
You have to eat. Everybody needs sustenance. I get it.
Yeah. Well, listen, I have to sleep on the way home. If I'm hungry, I'm not going to sleep.
Plus, it's a great new life lesson, even for the bride and groom. You didn't eat, well, you didn't try hard enough.
That's right. A little effort. A little something for the effort. That's what I'm saying. You get a little, you give a little, you get a little. That's all. So happy anniversary to Cody and Casey. That's what we're saying. That's how it all comes back around. That's how we wrap it up with that.
Yeah, there you go. Happy anniversary. Very, very glad for you and your baby.
That's nice. Right now, you've been married how long? More than 3?
Yeah. I've been married for 8 years.
8 years.
Good
for you.
Thank you.
That's a long time.
Noonan.
No, 8 years is good.
No,
I passed the 7-year itch.
Right. I'm volleying the question back though. How many years have you been married?
Way too long.
9?
28.
Okay.
And a half.
That's a while.
That's
4 7-year itches.
That's the old joke that I could have killed 3 people and been out by now. That's, I could have killed her on our wedding night and been free. Yeah. No, when I say it like that, when I say 28 and a half years and I think about it, I'm like, dude, that's more than half my life. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why Debbie's down in New Orleans now for a week. Because it was like, I gotta get the hell out of here.
This guy.
No, come on. Had you spent this much, maybe you have, and you've been married 8 years. Have you spent this much time with your lovely bride as you have during quarantine? Like, because you're not going to work, you're not leaving the house for the most part.
Betty and I are unique. I launched a podcast company and Betty worked in the office with me every day for a little while. So there was a time period, about 1.5 years, where we were in the same place at home, in the same place in this office building that I was renting, back and forth traveling together. So we had come close to quarantine time spent together. And I think that's just because that's how Betty is. She used to go to WGN when I would work late, even with you, Noonan, and just wait.
I remember a couple of times walking into the producer's booth and Betty was asleep in there and it scared the hell out of me. I was like, what happened? Did you kill somebody and drag their body in here? What are you doing?
And I'm aware, like, there was a little bit of why is that happening? But Betty was working at Navy Pier. She'd be walking home and wouldn't want to go home alone. And she'd just stay at the station and fall asleep at the station until I was done. She used to bring us churros. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't believe I ever got any. I know you talked about the churros many times. I don't, and I knew I was aware that Betty had access to churros.
Yes.
I, however, was not privy to any of those churros.
I think she's going to claim to have provided you a churro. I think that's going to be Betty's position.
I don't want to call Betty out on this and argue with her because once again, a high heel wedged into my head is not the way I want to spend my Thursday. But I don't believe I have a pretty good memory of the food that I ate on the air.
Yeah, I got many a churro when she would.
Well, sure, you're her betrothed, you're her beloved.
Yeah,
bring you a churro.
Yeah, no,
bring me a churro. I'm just some Yahoo.
Right,
jabbering on.
But that's even during quarantine. Actually, when I was doing a radio show in the basement, without really me asking her to do it, Betty just sort of walked into the basement when it was time for the radio show, sat across the table from me, and did her work on her laptop right there. So she started popping up on the show more because it's just sort of,
Wow.
I know.
Look at you. That's that's very nice.
It is. That she's not annoyed by me is amazing.
Talk to me in 20 years. This is when they said for better or worse, 28 and a half years ago, they didn't take this into account.
No.
And I'm saying this, listen, I'm saying this all for Debbie's behalf, because God knows she spent enough time with me over the 28 and a half years that it didn't have to be 24/7. As many days as she would come home and complain about her job, the fact that she got to leave this house for 9 hours a day or 10 hours with all the commuting.
Yeah.
The fact that she got to leave for 10 hours a day probably is why we're still married. And the fact that early in our marriage, I was on the road all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we're used to not being in the same place all the time. And now we've been in the same place all the time.
You know, it's funny you say that, actually, because the one thing I mentioned to Betty recently, she took at least one trip to Mexico every year. She's very close with her family, needs to be there. And the trips would be fairly long. She was going to school for a while, so she was in between jobs a couple times. And then one of them let her work while she was there. So sometimes she would go for a month, even 2 months. We'd just be apart. Yeah. And we got fairly used to that. Not that I'd call it a reset, because you're talking on the phone all the time when they're in Mexico. We got fairly used to that dynamic of sometime throughout the period of a year, us being separated significantly. And so I think in the same vein, we were just packing it all in a very short time period. It did come up this year that she has not been to Mexico yet. And maybe that's the missing component, and why, it's a little bit more challenging than typically.
It is definitely a challenge because, like I said, when we first got married, I was still on the road all the time. So there were at least a few days almost every week that I was gone. And I don't know, Debbie said it didn't bother her because she's kind of a homebody anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't bother her to not be, she didn't want to go out partying and stuff. And so I would come home and, usually Mondays or Tuesdays, we'd go to the movies, and which was great because nobody else was there. But that was how our life was all the way up until we moved to California. And then I was home, but I would still go on the road, and she would go to work, and then I would go to work. And so there was always time when we were apart. And I could tell she was getting antsy during this time. And that's why I said, listen, why don't you, because she had broached it. She was like, well, I can work from anywhere. Maybe I'll just go see Molly for a week. And I was like, yeah, go.
Sure.
They don't care where she's working as long as she's working. So she's working, and both of them are working from Molly's apartment. They're not going out. Molly has to go into the office 2 days. So yesterday and today, Debbie was alone at Molly's apartment with Walter, Molly's dog, and having that time. And they're, so it's nice. And she drove. So, not like she's no.
I like how you keep explaining it. And she didn't fly.
She didn't fly. Well, listen, I'm a huge proponent, so I don't want people to think I'm a hypocrite. Yes, she's in New Orleans, but she drove down, and they're not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. They go to the grocery store, and plus, New Orleans is not Illinois or Wisconsin,
right?
So New Orleans is doing okay because people down there took things seriously.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is nice. People are like, oh, what do you do? Are you going crazy? No. You know what I'm doing? I'm cooking for myself. I'm taking care of the dogs. I put out all the Halloween decorations outside. I cleaned and put up Halloween decorations inside. I've got some projects that I have to do the next couple days and prepping for the radio shows.
Let's talk about it, though. What's the thing that you can do comfortably now? Like, because I have a video game I play on my cell phone. I'm going to give you an example. So no ideas run anywhere. I have a video game I like to play on my cell phone. Annoys Betty quite a bit. When she is gone, the video game time is enhanced a bit. What is one such example for you, Noonan?
Boy, I wish I had something
nothing
like that.
There's nothing.
No,
man.
Well, I mean, other than I don't have to ask somebody else if they want to watch something. Because a lot of times, if Debbie and I are watching TV, it's something either we both want to watch, or one of us will say, hey, do you want to watch this? So I can watch whatever I want without having to ask, but that's not a problem. That's not a problem when she's here. So it's like, right. I don't have to ask what somebody else wants for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So I can, instead of going, if I say, what do you want for dinner? I don't know. And then we'll get something, I've been cooking what I want and making enough that I can have it for 2 dinners and that kind of stuff. And
You're not eating out of the pot?
no,
I
Greg.
do that. I do
sit
it.
down, I make myself a nice dinner. I open a bottle of wine. I use a nice waterful glass to drink my bottle of wine, my 99-cent bottle of Barefoot wine that I got at Jewel during the big sale. And
this is you really sat down alone after making a meal for just you, cracked a bottle of wine, and like had a very nice evening, Noonan?
Yes.
Was there music on and candles lit? Like, how far did we go?
Well, Fistine said she loved being with. No,
okay.
No, the dogs are here, so I have responsibility. No, yes, I opened the bottle of wine. Mm-hmm. I made the dinner. I sat down at the table.
Smooth jazz music?
No, I was watching television while I ate dinner.
Okay.
I did have music on while I was cleaning the house the other day. I had 80s and 90s country cranked really loud.
Oh my God.
Maybe I sang a little while I was cleaning. I don't, who cares? Tom wants to know if there's any food that I'm eating that she hates. No, I think, it's just, I don't have to, it's very selfish in the sense that I don't have to ask anybody else. I don't have to get Debbie's input on dinner. Like, I do 99% of the cooking, which is fine. So, and she's very good about, if I say, hey, I was thinking of making pork chops. Yeah, that'll be good. Because it's like she knows if she says, no, I'll go, okay, well, what are you going to make?
Can I ask you something about the person who does most of the cooking? Because that's not me.
You can ask anything you want, Craig.
As demonstrated.
I don't know if you missed the announcement earlier.
It's fine. As demonstrated by the week we had last week, I'm not doing very much cooking in the house.
No, you're not. And you ate out of the pot.
I absolutely, all the time. That's how I would make pasta. My roommate gave me a pot that we shared in college because he didn't want to use it anymore because I ate out of it to not do as many dishes. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. It turns into a bowl.
Are you camping?
No.
Are you eating outside?
But truthfully,
sitting on a log?
You just made a face like it's dirty. There's nothing dirty about the bowl.
There's nothing dirty about it, but it's not. You're a grown man who's living indoors. You have plates.
I'm saving water. I'm saving all kinds of great things. I'm doing a great job for the world. Anyway, that's not the point, Noonan. The question I want to ask you is...
You use the big spoon that you stirred it with too?
Yes, I have.
Gnawing it off the spoon like an animal?
I have before used the giant wooden spoon. That is a real story.
Of course it is.
Anyway.
Trust me, nobody who's been listening to you or knows you for years is going, I think Craig's making that up. That story is nowhere near true. Everybody went, yeah, of course he used the wooden spoon.
What a crazy person to lie about that, by the way. I've never done it. I'm just lying.
That's the story you chose to make up.
Right.
I ate off a wooden spoon one time.
No, but hold on. I'm curious about this. As the person that cooks more often, when Debbie's just not hungry, does that throw off your, like, do you still make the meal for yourself or do you try to wait? No. Okay.
A lot of time, and this has been the way since I started losing the weight. A lot of times it'll be like a lean cuisine or something during the week. And so during the week, it's more of we eat together, but we kind of figure out our own deal.
Gotcha.
Unless we're going to get something. Then on the weekend, it's, hey, I'm going to cook. I was thinking of grilling, or I was thinking of doing this, or I'm going to make some chili or whatever. So the weekends is when a lot of the real cooking happens. And then there'll be a discussion.
I've noticed the most disappointed I can make my wife any day, especially breakfast, because like that's her jam. That's not typically been the main meal of my day. I'm the opposite. But the most disappointed I can make her is when I just don't want to eat. Like she seems to almost shut down as like what she wants to do. It's like,
that's a personal affront.
But no, it's okay. But
it's not meant as a personal affront,
right.
But it's taken as a personal affront. Why don't you want to eat my cooking?
No, it's not. It's now I feel like I'm talking to Betty. It's not just sometimes I'm not hungry when she is. We just have different, but I have swallowed that, Noonan. I eat whenever she tells me to eat, even if I'm not hungry, because I know that she's just sad. She's like a puppy that you won't let go play at the park. That's exactly what it feels like.
You don't want Betty to be sad.
No. And by the way, Maria asked if I've ever drank from the gallon of. Yes, of course I have.
I just got a message from Cody.
All right.
Hold on. Let me read it to you. Make me see. Hey, dudes. Long day with the baby, and my entire office is barely enterable, which is not a word. That's why you can tell he's fatigued with this child. Not to mention I haven't showered or eaten today. I'm a mess. Paternity leave has made me slothful or sleep deprived, either or. I'll pop my head in later if I can, but it's looking like I'll have to wait to re-debut next week. My office equipment will be installed. So Cody may join us next week, and next week there is going to be a little schedule change. So we'll keep you updated on that. But next week, and Craig is just hearing this for the first time. Next week, because of radio and stand-up and all of that, next week's show will be on Thursday and start at about 8:15.
Okay.
So because I have a show on Thursday, but it ends at 8 because of Packers Weekly. So,
Gotcha.
So instead of ending at 9, I end at 8. Wednesday night, I've got something else which we'll plug in a few minutes. But no, Debbie, if Debbie's not hungry during the week, like sometimes I'll make myself a salad and then a lean cuisine. I'll go, what are you having for dinner? Peanut butter and crackers. What? That's all I want. Okay, you sure? Because you can make a ham sandwich or something. There's turkey and ham in the refrigerator, whatever. Nope, I'm just gonna have some peanut butter crackers or peanut butter toast.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to the point where I'm not going to argue with her about it. She's a grown woman. If she's hungry, she'll eat,
Right.
Eat. But she never turns down, like, when I make something, she never.
She always eats.
She always eats. And the couple things that she makes, she always eats.
Okay.
And
the
couple things that she makes really, really well. And I'm always excited. I actually ask her to make them. And so she knows I'm going to eat them, and she knows I'm not just being polite because I was like, hey, can you make that chicken and rice?
Well, it's good. It's all this stuff is very helpful for me improving my marriage by making sure to eat. I do. I just feel like that's my destiny to be, a heavier and heavier human. If you eat when you're not hungry, isn't that when weight gets added a lot? Isn't that?
If you don't do anything else, if you just sat around and ate. But if you, if you ate like that 3 meals every day and didn't do any sort of movement, yes, that's exactly how. Take it from a guy who was kissing 400. Yes, That's exactly how it happens. You eat when you're not hungry. You eat a copious amount of everything that's in front of you, and you don't do anything.
Right.
That's exactly how you become fat.
This is the path I'm staring down, Noonan.
No, you listen. You're lean.
We'll see.
You're lean.
All right.
Yeah, so I've been I made myself I felt bad. Sunday morning, I got up and I took care of the dogs, and then I made myself scrambled eggs and sausage and some toast and my coffee. And I was talking to Debbie later, and she goes, "Oh, you miss me?" I go, "Yeah, I miss you." "Oh, what'd you do?" "Oh, I had a nice breakfast. I had eggs and sausage." I go, "What'd you guys have?" "Oh, Molly went out and got some donuts." I was like, "Oh, well, that's very nice. That's good." And I know she's thinking, "Wait a minute. He's cooking more when I'm not there than when I am there." And they're cooking down there. So who knows?
Who's cooking down there?
They're cooking. Debbie and Molly are cooking.
No, I know, but is Molly doing the same? Is she?
Molly realized when she moved to Manhattan that it was much more economical to cook at home than it was to try to eat out. Especially when you're making entry-level TV money and living in Manhattan.
Yeah.
So Molly can whip up some stuff. And it's funny because like when Molly lived in New York, or even when she was living at Tulane her senior year, she would say, "Oh, I made this and this, and I stir-fried and blah, blah, blah." And so like for Christmas, we gave her a wok and we gave her some stuff for utensils and things. And then she comes here and I'm like, "Hey, why don't you whip us up some of that stuff that you've been talking about? Because it sounded really good."
Sure.
"I don't know how to cook here." Comes here, it's like she's at the Hyatt. She does, she wants to eat in the hotel restaurant.
I don't know. This is my home, and you're supposed to make these meals.
Yeah, I'm like, but so last time when she was here between New York and moving back to New Orleans, she cooked something once, and I was like, "Wow, this is really good." Every once I'll buy the stuff. I'm not telling you to buy the ingredients, but You could cook it. It's really good.
We will eat it. It'll be great.
I'll eat it. You'll see me smile, which is something you don't see very often. So that might be nice.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
I get that. I don't know. If she's good at cooking, that's totally different. The reason I don't cook many meals in my house is that I'm terrible at it. I am really bad. And people tell you that these things are things that you can, learn how to do. I think our chef last week said you just got to read. Yeah, you just got to read ingredients. I disagree. I think that there's a skill set that you may not have, even if you can read all the words.
Yeah, if you never we watched. My brothers and I are all really good cooks.
Okay.
Some of my brothers are much better. I'm good. I'm like a diner cook. I'm really good at a lot of Americana, simple. I can do that kind of stuff. One of my brothers, who worked in fine dining, he will. He is very meticulous. He can make more higher tier, fancier meals. Then one of my youngest brother was on a award-winning barbecue team.
What?
So he's a barbecuer. My other brother Michael is great he does all kinds of he smokes all kinds of meats, and he's a great cook. Like usually we go there for Thanksgiving. So all my brothers can cook, and I think it's because we saw my mom cook. We watched my mom cook, and then we kind of we all realized it's something you need to do, and it impresses the ladies.
See, I made a bad assumption though back there, and I'm going to preface this by no offense intended. I thought maybe mom wasn't that great of a cook if all the sons are cooking so well.
No, our mom was a really good cook.
Okay.
And she would make spaghetti sauce from scratch and beef Wellington when they had people over for dinner, and here's how she would make prime rib, like in steak and stuff for us on Sundays. And my brothers are like, "We're so sick of prime rib. We're sick of eating steak." Shut up. Now I kill for a steak every week.
Me too.
But she was a good cook, and I think not that we stood at the stove and watched her and studied her, but we saw what it took to put a big meal together, and the different things. And
I'm not driven by that. On Thanksgiving,
sister-in-law can cook either.
On Thanksgiving, we all, that was the family tradition. We all made an item once you became old enough to make anything. And I resisted as long as I could, Noonan. And eventually I was just cranberry sauce. I was open the can, pour it in the thing, go back and watch football. Craig will come back when we're done.
Dude, you could have made homemade cranberry sauce. Could be the easiest. It's a cup of water, a cup of sugar.
See, I don't
want to. You pour the bag in and you stir.
I don't want to prove people right now, but I don't want to. I just don't want to do that.
So you don't want to.
I don't want to.
You're not a dumb guy.
I am.
I know you like to play that character, and I will give it to you. You're not the brightest bulb, but you're not stupid. So
I'm not the brightest bulb. I love that, man. I'm going to give it to you. You're not as smart as most people, but you're not as dumb as you pretend.
Right. You're not as dumb as you would like us to think. Okay. Only because then you might be proven right.
Right.
But no, neither am I. Listen, it's not.
I had this conversation actually this exact week with Cody. We were chatting on the phone for a second, and I told him part of the reason that I don't mind being the butt of a joke that's self-inflicted like last week. And that is all honestly true, by the way. I read a sales book one time. I had a sales gig, and it said the best way to sell something to someone is to make them think that you're just a little bit dumber than they are. Not obnoxiously dumb. That's going to harm the process. Right. But if you're just slightly less intelligent than the guy or girl you're trying to sell something to, they will never think that you tricked them into buying it. That's why it's better to sell things as a slightly less intelligent person. And I think I took that to heart for my whole life.
Well, you've embraced it, and you're doing very well with it.
Well, thank you.
You're doing very, very well with it.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because then they're not intimidated by you.
No.
They think they've gotten over on you. It's actually much smarter to play that game. It's like when actors say it's very hard to play drunk or stupid. It is, so you're actually smarter. Maria says you probably make some great ice cubes or Jell-O.
I can make great ice cubes. That is absolutely true.
You know how I make ice cubes? Go over to the ice factory and I buy them.
Okay. I thought we were going to have a dumb recipe. I thought there was actually going to be. Okay.
No, there's no recipe.
My mind would have been blown. That would have changed my whole life outlook. If you had an ice cube recipe, I would have left here a different human.
All right, here's the story that will change your. What did you say last week when you said, whenever I hear a Noonan story, there are always a million different.
You travel to multiple locations of the same thing. You either go to 6 Jewels because for some reason you go to 3 or 4 Burger Kings, 3 or 4 hospitals. You make several trips to differing locations of the same business.
That is correct.
Okay.
And I stand by that. And you were not wrong to point that out.
All right.
I was doing this this fundraiser for Chef Cletus and the Sclerodoma Foundation. And I was talking to Greg Cook, the co-founder of Stone Brewing, as I mentioned. There had been no discussion about what beer we were going to be sampling or what we were going to do. It was 10 minutes. You're going to be talking to Greg Cook, blah, blah, blah.
All right.
So yesterday, I'm driving home, and I said, I'm going to stop at Binny's, and I'm going to get some Stone beer, a beer from Stone Brewing, because that way when I'm talking to the guy, I can drink one of his beers. And we've been doing this long enough. When you're interviewing somebody, it's a nice thing.
Absolutely.
So I walk in, one Binny's, I look at their selection. I talk to the beer guy. I make it a selection of a Stone beer that they made in collaboration with Metallica.
Wow.
Called Enter Night.
Okay.
And I'm jazzed about it. I'm like, oh, this is going to show the guy that I can't wait. I'm going to drink some Metallica beer. Then the Sandman's going to come in and I'm going to pass out. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So about 9:40, I'm sitting watching TV, and I look at my phone. There's an email from Cletus because he had sent out a big group email saying, just confirm with everybody that you're going to be there. And I immediately responded, I'm ready. The email at 9:40. Did you get the 2 beers? What 2 beers? I didn't know there were 2 beers. I hadn't seen it. I have some Stone beer.
I went my own way.
But what is it? And he texted me back and he said, Buena Vesa, again, best can in the business.
Yep.
And Fear Movie Lines, double IPA. Boom.
All right.
And I'm like, no, I said, don't worry. He's like, well, that's okay. You didn't see the email? I'm like, no, there was no email. And there wasn't. I went back through every email. There was no email.
Okay.
So I knew I was right. But I also knew that if I didn't come up with this, it was going to be bad business. So I immediately I go on the Binny's website, and because he was like, well, I'm sure Binny's will have the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a whole. And I was going out to my mom's today to help her with some stuff. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can go to the Binny's by her. But I'm online, so this doesn't count if I'm sitting in my chair.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, if I'm just online and I pull up the 2 beers at Binny's and I search them, and like the Binny's that's half a mile from me, one was in stock and one was limited supply. Call to make sure. All right.
Too risky.
I look at the one down by my mom. Same thing. One of them, yes, we've got it in stock. The Buena Vesa, everybody had the 12 packs of Buena Vesa. They said they had limited supplies of the Fear Movie Lines. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be a nightmare. So, and this story has a few branches, but I'll prove
I'm not surprised.
Of course, all of my stories have a million branches. The branch on this story, besides the beer, is Debbie had gotten involved in a campaign where people were writing out postcards to send to states to urge people to vote.
Okay.
She had written out by hand 200 postcards for people in Michigan.
Wow.
And addressed them, handwritten them, stamped them, and everything. And today was the day I had to mail them because they could only be mailed. They had a schedule, and today was the day to mail them. And she was like, I have to mail them from Chicago. I can't mail them from New Orleans. Can you mail them for me? I was like, yes. I can mail them for you. I can do this. So I get up this morning and I had them. I put it in my Google Calendar. I had an alert. Don't forget to mail the postcards.
Sure.
They're sitting on the table right where I'm going to. I see it. There's no. And she texts me at 7:30. Thanks for sending the postcards. I just sent her back like a shocked face. And she's like, you forgot, didn't you? I'm like, no, I haven't left the house yet.
It's 7:30 a.m., lady.
7:30. I'm not, what am I doing?
Right.
I don't have to be at the post office when they open. I can,
Mhm.
the pickup's not till noon.
If you loved her.
Well, that's true. Obviously, I loved her 3 hours less because I was there before 10.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I look, Binny's opens at 9. I'm like, all right, here's the plan. I'm going to go mail these postcards, and I'm going to take a picture of me dropping them in the mailbox so Debbie knows I did it. Then I'm going to go to this Binny's, and I'm going to get the beer right now. I'm going to stop at one Binny's. That's it. And as I'm driving to Binny's, I said, no matter what the hell happens, I'm only going to one, so I can tell Craig that I only went to one Binny's to get this beer. I walk in at the cooler. They had about 14 12-packs of Buena Vesa, and I'm like, all right, one down. Here we go. Now I go to the other aisle where it's West Coast breweries. And there's, oh man, okay, here's Stone. Boom, no. Empty spot, no. Son of a, I'm going to have to go to another. And I bent down just enough to see that the last 6-pack of Fear Movie Lions was pushed back. I was able to get it all at one Binny's.
No, you weren't.
Bring it home and put it in the refrigerator before I went to my mom.
Nope,
and I thought to myself, I can't wait to tell Craig.
No, it's still not true. You're still lying.
Why am I lying?
Did you go to the Binny's more than one time?
No.
No, you did, though. You went to the Binny's and got your own drinks, not knowing. Noonan, it's still a Noonan story.
This is not,
you did not make one trip.
Wow. All right.
You went back into the Binny's.
I was satisfied after yesterday's stop at the one Binny's that I was good.
No.
I was satisfied.
Nope.
There was other information that was lacking.
All right, hold on. Let me really
Go to
figure
the
it out
phone.
here. Yeah, let's go. No, there are no phones. We can go to the phones. You bought a beer for yourself at the same Binny's on a different day?
No, different Binny's yesterday.
Did you drink one of the beers that you bought for yourself tonight during the conversation?
I did not drink a Metallica beer yet.
Okay.
I bought the beers I drank this morning, or the beers I'm drinking now, were the ones I bought for the event that happened right before this.
Did you mention Metallica beer during the? Okay. Oh man. All right. It's feeling closer.
So the Metallica beer is now just going to be me in a black T-shirt, with maybe one of those velvet posters of a panther.
I think the only thing you needed to do is not bring up the Metallica beer at all tonight. I think tonight ruined it. Now it's 2 trips, 2 different Binny's in order to create the story in the first place. Because they both existed in the story. In the Noonan story, I had 2 different Binny's.
All right. Fair enough.
Yes.
But I thought, I was like, oh, if I get everything today at 1, because I thought I was going to have to go to this Binny's by my house. They would have 1. Then I'd bring it home, put it in the fridge, and then go to my mom's. I'd have to go to another Binny's and perhaps a Jewel or a liquor store to try to find the other ones. And to be honest, it was a 10-minute segment. I didn't need both beers. I could have been happy with the 1 12-pack of this one only because of the beautiful can. And, that would have been fun. But now I got a buzz on because I had this double IPA that's 8.5%, and I had a couple of these Buena Vesas that, so now who knows what's going to happen.
I have no idea. I think I stand by my story, though. You still are completely unsuccessful in your attempts to go to just one spot for a story.
All right, I'm going to try to figure this out by next week. Every week I'm going to go. Every week there's always a story. That's the beauty of you and I.
You're going to skip a meal because you don't want to go to a second location.
No, I will say that the ingredients I've had to get for what I've cooked this week, I've only 1 Jewel.
There you go.
1 Jewel.
All right.
But what kind of fun is that? Who doesn't go to 1 Jewel? Everybody goes to 1 Jewel. That's not a story. Who wants to hear? Well, I went to the Jewel and I got some bread. Oh, fantastic! What sets you apart from 9 billion other people on the planet? But if I'm wild goose chasing stuff around, I wanted a baguette that you could only get from the signature brand whole wheat baguette, and they didn't have it at 4 Jewels, and I went to
I know. I understand.
That just makes me a lunatic.
Well, then the challenge has been placed. You need to accept it. Noonan is a funny, funny man. I need you to make something entertaining that sounds mundane to the rest of us. I want the one-off trip where you get all the items you're looking for to somehow be entertaining.
Yeah, how's that going to work?
I don't know. It's a challenge for you, Noonan.
All right, here's the thing. I ordered my webcam on Target's website. I went and picked it up and came home. Boring. Nothing. Walked in, was there. Hey, I got the email that said it was ready. I walked in and they gave it to me. Fantastic. That's a story. Yank, yank. No, it's not. That's nothing. That's every other human being. What happens to you and what happens to me that is what,
Right. I know. I get it. I get it.
I know you do.
I'm going to Radio 101 right now.
Listen, I know you're trying to act dumb, but I'm not buying.
I'm pretty dumb.
When it comes to cooking, here's what would blow my mind. If all of a sudden I was ever down in your neck of the woods and I walked in and there was like some gourmet meal and Betty went, that wasn't me, that was him. I went, what? That's it. This guy's been lying nonstop for years. I will not be a part of his chicanery.
No, it's true.
No, it's can't be true.
Right. Well, I don't know. I've been accused before because I talk about I don't do a lot of chores in the house either. I don't know if the cooking and chores go hand in hand or not.
No.
Okay. No. All right. Well, I don't do a lot of those, and it's because I do them wrong. That's the truth. I folded or I made the bed the other day, and Betty felt the need to remake it. So that's got to be stupidity, I think.
I'm with Betty because if the few times Debbie's made the bed, which is why she doesn't do it anymore, I redo it.
Dude, that's crazy. By the way, you're crazy, Noonan.
Is it, or do I need to be comfortable when I sleep? I think Betty needs to be comfortable when she sleeps.
But you're not.
Debbie believes in putting the sheet on the wrong way.
No, but hold on. You're not going to sleep when I'm making the bed. This is the opposite of going to sleep. Can't you set it up when you're getting into it later on that evening? Why does it have to be prepared at 8 a.m. for your evening?
Well, wait. If you make it incorrectly, that means when I go to bed, I have to remake it then, because how will I rest?
Are you a tuck guy? Is this all about the tuck?
The sheet?
Yes. Do you tuck your sheets?
I tuck the sheet, and the sheet has to be. Sheet has to be not all the way around, just at the bottom, and not super tight. But the sheet also has to have the print side facing the body, not the other way around.
Okay.
Debbie puts it where the unprint side touches your body. I'm like, that's not right. You got to have print from the fitted sheet and print from the top sheet, making you the print sandwich.
The whole reason to make the bed is to prevent dust or whatever, I guess, would get inside. Like the reason we're laying out the blanket at all is to prevent dirtiness from getting onto the bed while we're not sleeping in it, right? Like that's the purpose. You're not showing it off to people. You're not bringing people.
It makes the room look kept up.
No, it's not that.
It makes the room look well kept. Makes you look like you're not sleeping under a bridge.
To who,
though? Billy Goat's gruff.
The question is to who? Who are you?
Myself. I make the bed when I'm staying in a hotel by myself.
Why?
Because one, I put the do not disturb sign because I don't want. This when I was on the road. I don't want the housekeepers coming in rooting through my stuff. I have a lot of firearms and illicit materials in there.
There's a tiny little safe for that stuff.
Is there? Not at the Motel 6. I was a comic. I didn't.
Right.
Comic. They weren't putting me up in hotels with safes.
All right.
But I was spending time in that room. So to me, and when I say make a hotel bed, it's just pull the blankets up so that it's covered, and then it's calming to me. It doesn't. The room is not in upheaval.
We're getting.
And split. He said she's with me. Print sandwich.
And then Jean said she's got to go with me on this one. So we're 1-1.
I can't read Jean's comment because it makes no sense to me.
No, I gotta ask more questions now about the whole hotel.
Please ask away.
You're just insane. Now we're borderline like OCD here.
Are you new?
Do you put the towels on the ground?
What do you mean?
The towels in a hotel, do you actually put them on the floor? Used towel. If you let someone do room service for you, you're supposed to put the used towels on the floor so they know they're used, so they give you new towels.
Yes.
That's right. So do you do that or do you resist that?
No, that I will do. If I'm
okay.
Like if I'm staying in a hotel with Debbie,
yes.
I don't make the bed. because we let housekeeping come in.
Uh-huh.
Unless there's a day where we're like, we don't need housekeeping, then we'll both hang our towels so they dry and we can use them again. And then I'll pull up. It takes 30 seconds to pull the bedspread up.
Betty,
if I'm going out and I want the room clean, yes, I will throw the towels all in the tub.
Okay.
And I will
in the tub.
It's like the floor. That way I don't trip on them. I only throw them in the tub so that I don't trip.
No. We found it. You do. Betty hates to put the towels on the ground at all because she thinks like that's messy and terrible and it annoys her. So we don't. We do everything you just did. We hang the towel, we let it dry. But when I want a new towel in a hotel, I have to take it away from its hanging position, put it down onto the ground in order to get it changed before we leave the hotel room, which I think is silly. I think that's crazy. If the situation demands for us to put it on the ground, why not just put it down there when we've completed use of it? We don't live in the hotel. We're not going to be judged for the way our hotel was kept for the 2 days we were in there. There's nothing. You put them in the tub because you also don't want them on the floor, Noonan.
I don't want them on the floor because I have to walk on the floor.
No,
it is true. It's less clutter. If I have to go in the bathroom, I don't want to step over a pile of towels. They're still down. They're not hanging. I've just made a pile in the tub as opposed to the pile in the middle of the floor or way under the sink so that somebody has to get down and try to reach them. It's easier for housekeeping to pull them out of the tub than it is to go, if I just toss my washcloth willy-nilly under the sink and it's way back in the corner, or God forbid it's behind the toilet.
Yeah, that's terrible. That would be gross. I wouldn't do that.
Horrible.
Right. I'm not saying that. I like that you treat towels on the floor at a hotel like landmines. You essentially treat them the same. Like the challenge of getting over a towel for you sounds daunting.
I don't want to walk over anything.
It's a towel.
Is it one towel?
Could be.
No.
Or 6.
I don't know if you know my wife. She enjoys the extra towels.
Oh, me too.
She enjoys extra towels in anytime we check into a hotel. Can we get some extra towels? What are you doing up there? Is that a homicide? What do we need? One towel. I'm a one towel guy.
I don't know why.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Live
the life, Noonan. You're in the hotel. Go nuts. Be a 2 towel guy for one night and see what changes.
There's a little thing I like to call the climate and the planet. And I believe those little signs that hang off the rack that says, if you can reuse a towel, you're saving 800 million gallons of water. I believe that. Unless I've had a rough night and, there's something on the towel that shouldn't be there when I'm done. And even then, sometimes you take a bar of soap, you just scrub it in the sink.
Right. I think that next time either of us is in a hotel, we should be the opposite. I will be a 1 towel guy and I will try to live that life for a day. And you got to go the other extreme.
And how many towels am I supposed to use?
I can use a few.
In one shower?
Yeah.
Doing what?
I don't know. Like if one gets
no hair.
I'm aware. If one gets damp while I'm drying myself with it, I don't know if it's being effective at drying me anymore. So maybe go with the second towel to be extra dry. Why not? I'm in a hotel. I'm not in my house.
Wow, you're like Henry VIII.
I am. I do. Yeah.
You're like Marie Antoinette. Let them eat cake. Let them use towels.
Hold on.
I don't understand it.
That's the point of the hotel towel. You were supposed to be as willing to misuse them as you are in any towel situation in all of your life.
How many towels do you use in your home? When you leave the bunker and you go upstairs to where Betty has a civilized home, how many towels? Like I get if you were showering in the bunker, which I don't know, maybe you do. Maybe,
I should.
Maybe Betty just comes down and turns a hose on you in the corner like Silkwood.
We actually have. This is probably one of the things we're most likely to get in an argument about is the amount of towel use, because she'll make me hang my towel up and use it multiple times, and I will always feel that it's ready to change to a new towel, and she'll always tell me no.
Gina's flipped back. She's back with me.
Oh no! Why?
Yes.
For what reason?
Obviously, because I make a more cogent case, and I'm not a lunatic.
I don't know. Like
we hang our towels here at the house and use them more than once.
How many times do you use them?
This has been I've had this conversation.
Maybe we all have. Maybe this
with
is
Roger and Cody, and they all mock me. I'll let it go for like a week.
Okay.
Which maybe is too long.
Are you a one
we
shower
have,
a day?
here's the thing: we have more towels.
Mhm.
We have. It's not like we only have 2 towels in the house.
Right.
There's plenty of towels in the living. If Debbie wanted to use a 3-4 towels a day, she could, but we use a towel because I'm clean when I get out of the shower.
I'm
So
aware.
It's just absorbing clean water. I hang it up, it dries, boom. What are you doing? What are you digging for that you need multiple towels?
I don't
That's
know.
what Charmin is for.
Right. I'm aware.
Are you? I don't know if you are.
I am. I don't know that it's, because the towel stays in the bathroom. You're not hanging it outside of the bathroom, right?
Right, but I'm not hanging it over the toilet.
Yeah, but it's in the bathroom. It's still steamy in there. It's going to retain some liquid. I think 2 or 3 uses is an appropriate amount of uses.
Okay, 2 or 3 uses. I'm not going to argue with that.
I am told that's not enough.
Well,
I have to go more. And then I also wonder if you're a one shower.
I shower once a day in normal times. In quarantine times, I'll be honest, I showered Sunday and I showered today.
All right.
I didn't shower Monday, Tuesday. 1, nobody else is here. The dogs don't care.
Right.
2, I hadn't really worked up a lather on either of those days.
You're never a 2 shower a day?
No, what am I, 15?
I do it sometimes. If you need, I don't know.
The only guys I knew who took 2 showers a day were guys in puberty.
Right. Never, not consistently.
It's not violent.
It's not a consistency thing. There's some days where you feel like a second shower makes a lot of sense. And it's not because of a workout or anything. I get like you wake up in the morning, you shower, and then you have an intense workout. You're going to shower after that. I mean, like, maybe the day was stressful and maybe there's, a little bit of steam in myself in the shower might calm me.
Calling it nowadays?
Yeah.
Steaming yourself in the shower? All right. I don't know if I've ever taken 2 showers in a day.
Never.
I don't believe so.
Wow.
I may have. It's obviously so irregular that I cannot remember it.
I showered for this. I showered this morning and I showered this evening before this for this. Yes, I did.
I always shower for this.
Okay.
But I may not have showered. Like I said, I had not showered Monday or Tuesday.
There's something about showering in the morning that like wakes you up, but I'm not a coffee in the morning guy.
I'm not a shower at night guy. If I'm going to work or I have something to do, I shower in the morning.
Bet Jeffrey Tubin uses uses a few towels a day. Yes, I bet he does, Sally. That is true.
Sally, I think it's more Kleenex. Why waste a towel? Kleenex you dispose. I don't know.
There we go.
Sandy says body and head hair will stick to a used towel. Yuck, I use it once. Wow, look at you.
I would love to live that life. I would love to live that life.
Christine says she uses a clean one every day. And Sally says different Sally says she uses bath sheets. One time we had bath sheets. They were too long for me. And I'm big. She said her husband is 6'5", her late husband. I'm also 6'5". We do have longer towels. We have pretty good sized towels now.
Yeah.
And it took a while for them to actually be absorbent. That's why here's the other thing. I will use towels till they are threadbare because they soak up more water. New towels, you got to wash them so many times before they suck the moisture off you.
That doesn't make any sense. That makes absolutely no sense.
It's 100% true.
That can't be a thing.
Even with dish towels, you got to wash dish towels a couple times before they're actually useful.
Now I'm Googling this now, and there's no way this is a thing. Washing a towel makes it more absorbent.
Washing it and drying it, you get that initial dye coating off the towels, and it's just the pure fibers.
I don't know what you're saying. This doesn't make any sense to me.
She seems like the one with sense in that house.
I don't understand. How could that be true? Why would that be true? You just blew my mind in a totally different way tonight, Noonan. How can a towel become more absorbent based on the amount of times it's been washed?
Because the whatever they use in the dye process and all of that is washed away, and you're getting down to the pure, just the cotton fibers, and that's what absorbs. The brand new towel hasn't been washed since it's gone through the dyeing process. And so it's got a little film on it.
But you insinuated that it's much more than one wash to get to the absorbentness of the towel.
For me, it is.
This doesn't make any sense.
I can wash them up a couple times.
At most one wash might be cleaning away a little bit of this dye you're claiming that's there.
buy new towels. Not now, but if
Whatever.
if the radio genie comes, treat yourself to some new towels.
I will.
And wash them a couple times by themselves, and watch how much and then you have to stand by the washing machine.
The first person
that cycle happens, you'll see that water is coming out the color of those towels. That's all the extra dye being washed off those towels.
The first person
happens for a couple of times.
The first person that comments on this in our Facebook page or on YouTube is correct. Noonan and I will accept the answer of the first person who says that washing a towel multiple times means that it becomes more absorbent. Not just once, multiple washes.
Makes it more absorbent.
Yep. Whoever, I run around the house to dry myself. That's what Maria does. That's a good move.
I know, and I've been outside Maria's house, and I can confirm that is absolutely the case.
You know,
the police only once.
We've been meaning to talk to you about that, by the way, standing outside Maria's house. All right.
Totally agree with Brian.
No.
Get better as you wash. That's Sandy. Sally says, and you're not supposed to dry them with fabric softener, makes them less absorbent. Bang, bang.
No.
Sit down, Collins.
I don't know. It's the Facebook page of your show. I don't know why I thought I'd win.
Well, your name is on. Your name is on the.
It is.
In case you forgot, your name is on the title of the show. Right there, right after the and sign. There you are. You're Craig. So there's 3 names, 2 guys. Your name is one of them. So there you go. What can I tell you?
Fine. I lose.
Here's the thing. I've lived a long life.
Okay.
Some might say too long, and I would agree with them on certain days. But there's things that come from a life experience. I've lived by myself in a number of places. I've had a myriad of towels.
I'm taking all the things I said back, and I only accept the outcome of this if the Curiosity Daily podcast finds a scientific study to prove that the towel is more absorbent second, third, fourth, fifth wash in. Only if Curiosity Daily does this topic.
All right, we'll get Cody on this because it's true.
Because I won't, and I listen to Curiosity Daily every morning.
And again, I will keep towels like these latest towels we have. I forget why Debbie got them, but she had either like a gift card or something, and she bought these towels. And she was like, "Oh, these are beautiful towels. They're UGG towels, like UGG boots.
Yeah,
and they're big." Because last time she went and bought towels, she skimped a little bit, and they were tiny. They were little towels. So I kept using these old towels that we had gotten. Years ago, we had gotten a Macy's gift certificate from my mother-in-law for Christmas, and we treated ourselves to some polo towels, big shot name brand towels, but only because 1, they were on sale, and 2, we had a gift card. These towels were fantastic, so fantastic that I still have a couple of them in the linen closet just in case. Then Debbie bought these Martha Stewart towels that were thin and small and worthless.
Well, she's been to jail.
Debbie.
Martha Stewart.
Well, Debbie kept buying towels like that. She would have been in jail because I would have complained enough. She would have killed me. These towels were horrible.
It sounds like a jail towel. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's a jail towel. It was a Motel 6 towel.
Gotcha.
It was the towel you get when you go to the community pool or the steam rooms or the bathhouse.
Oh,
horrifying towel. Anyway, so Debbie comes up with these blue UGG towels, and they're big and they're thick, and I'm like, okay. And we wash them once, and I dry myself off, and it smears the water all over my body. And I'm like, oh man, this is awful. These towels are gonna suck too. I might as well get my old polo towel out of the bathroom. Then I wash them a couple more times. Man, I love these towels. I love them. They're good size. They're absorbent.
No, this is fantastic. This is in your brain. That's not real. That can't be real.
Rob, our car warranty friend, makes a good point. Grab the lint trap after a dry cycle and see if water flows through it freely. That's what makes the towel more absorbent. It's pulling off all that extra gunk.
That's not proof of anything because every time I do laundry, my lint trap is full and water's not going to flow through it freely. That's never going to happen.
But not as much as if you just do towels. There's going to be a lot more lint for just towels.
The incremental improvement you're talking about here that you think you can detect is ludicrous.
Oh my God. All right. I'm doing the laundry this week and I'm taking 2 pictures. One with just a load of color clothes.
All right.
2, a load of towels.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to take 2 pictures. and I'm going to send them to you. And even now, after I've been washing these towels for almost a year, they still load up the lint trap.
Okay.
Blue lint.
Now, again, I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying that everything does. I have a pair of jeans that I've owned for I don't know how many years. Lint still gets on them and still gets in the trap when they get dried.
Right, well,
this is proof of nothing.
All right, we're gonna listen to our viewers.
All right.
I want you to go talk to your lovely bride.
I will.
And she's going to tell you the same thing. I want you to go out tomorrow to Target and buy one new towel.
Mm-hmm.
Wash it once and try to dry yourself with it. Then get one of your towels. I don't even know if you have towels. You're a guy who eats out of a pan. I don't know if you have towels. I don't know what goes on.
I used to air dry at the beach actually as a kid. I used to not
what
use towels.
What's going to happen to you if Betty does go down to Mexico?
What's that?
What's going to happen to you when Betty goes down to Mexico?
I've lived through it before. I revert back to Bachelor Craig, who eats out of pots, who does a lot of different things. And then when Betty comes back, I do a deep clean of the house right before she makes it, so that all is the same as when she left.
All right.
I do. I go back to the mountain of clothes scenario. I like to wear all my clothes. And I think we've talked about that before too. I do. I don't remember which ones. If you clean my clothes too often, I don't remember what outfits I've worn. And I wind up wearing the same outfit too soon. You know, like there's supposed to be space. Yeah. I just don't remember. I have favorites that I pick out and I wear them. And if you wash my clothes, I might wear the same outfit like 3 days in a row if you just keep doing my wash. So I like to wear all of my items before I do wash.
All right. I got to say, when we sat down to do this tonight, I never thought it would go to this direction, but I'm glad it did. I think the more I think it's great that I'm eager for Cody to come back. I think it's great for everybody that you and I have been doing this alone because they know Cody and I for all this time.
Yeah.
And now they know the people who didn't know you before know you better now, and it's
I'm insane.
The three of us, this is going to be insanity.
You've never tried to wear all your clothes before doing wash?
No.
Because it's insane. Because the pile is disgusting.
No, I just do. I do want. And I remember what I wear.
On that note,
last week on the QuarantineCast, I had my red Spider-Man T-shirt on.
I have no idea what I wore last week.
I know exactly. I just told you what I wore. Go back.
I know you did. That's well done.
Quickly, to remind people that next week we will be on Thursday night at about 8:15 because Wednesday night I am doing a streaming stand-up show from an empty theater. It's going to be. They say it's going to be a 4-camera TV shoot, so I have to be TV clean. This is exciting because I have not been on stage in about 8 months. So God only knows what's going to happen when I take to the stage next Wednesday night. But if you want to get some tickets, you can go here to rowcenter.org/comedy, and you can get tickets for next week's show. I know John DeCoste, who you might know from the Steve Cochran Show. John DeCoste I've known for years, hilarious. He's the host of the program. Then there's another comic, and then I'm the big closer. I'm bringing it home.
Absolutely.
And by that I mean I'm going to stand there and just stammer for 15 minutes because I have not been on stage in months and months.
You'll do fine.
I'll be I have no choice. Maybe I do towel talk. Maybe I bring this to the whole thing.
Just do a survey of the audience and see if anyone else wants to wear all of their clothes before doing wash. And if one person says yes, I won't feel crazy.
All right. Well, I think you should still feel crazy, but maybe you'll be, maybe things will back you up.
There you go.
So you can go there to rowcenter.org/comedy to get your tickets for the comedy show. We will be back. I'll remind you, so you won't have to remember. And I'll remind you too, Craig. Next week, it's Thursday night at 8:15. That's when we're going to do the show. I'm going to come right off my WTMJ show and right here. So I'm going to have hot takes all built up. I'm going to be spouting off some crazy political theories, maybe some UFO stuff. Who knows what I'll be talking about next Thursday. But, Craig will have things to talk about, and maybe Cody will have things to talk about, and maybe you'll have things to talk about. You can call us anytime. This is, let's all give kudos to Craig for setting up the phone. So we got the phone number. You can call us. You can go buy tickets. You can remember that Craig now, his name doesn't come after 3 dots. He's actually a permanent part of the program. There's a lot that got done today.
Yeah.
A lot. New camera, new light.
We will see how long it takes you and Cody to regret that.
That you're here?
Yeah, I'm a permanent part of the show.
No, this is going to be here. And I know you've been worried about this. You will be, and this will be the last thing we say. You were worried when you were like, well, there's going to be 3 of us, and we're going to. First of all, we're all friends.
Yes.
Second of all, we've all done this before.
Right.
Third of all, this is not network television where we have to hit, a certain, you have 4 minutes, finish the interview in 4 minutes. This is for people who like us. They want to hear what we're going to have to say. It's going to be fun. I am really looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Cody's looking forward to it. I hope you're looking forward to it. So we are happy to have you. If you and your pot eating, non-clean towel using self, that's up to you to decide.
I got it.
We are happy you're here.
All right,
that was on the record.
Yeah.
And so that's that.
Okie dokie. I'm still not sure. We'll figure it out.
Listen, again, the lawyers are hammering all that out.
They are.
I don't get involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
I just know I show up. I make with the funny. You make with the funny. We go home.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
And speaking
by
of which,
home, I mean leave this room.
Right? Yeah. And speaking of which, it's time for us to go home, I guess.
It's time for us to go home. All right. I will talk to you next week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for calling. We had some callers at the beginning.
Yeah.
Craig, as always, it is a pleasure to speak with you. And tell Betty I said hello. And we will all talk again next week, Thursday, 8:15. Program change. I'll remind you. You got too much to worry about. Good night.